finally, I was finally able to get a Switch 2. I was actually looking for one for a long time. It really hadn't even been out that long, to be honest. But the time that it has been out, I was actually looking for one because I wasn't able to get one on launch day. But at the time I kind of wanted it, but at the same time, didn't really care too much for it because still had the Switch. I was still enjoying the games for the original Switch. But as I kept looking at the gameplay of Mario Kart World, that is one game I actually wanted to play, Mario Kart World. But as I kept looking at gameplay of that and then other games, I know they had put Cyberpunk 2077 on the Switch too, and I've never actually played Cyberpunk 2077 before, not on the PS4, on the PS5 or anything like that because, well, when the game first came out, it was unfinished and everything, but, I saw they put that on there. The more I actually wanted to play it, and I've been a fan of handhelds for a long time. I've been a fan of just obviously gaming, but I have a Vita right here, the original PS Vita, I have that. I have a 3DS. I have like 4 3DSs, to be honest. Here's one of them right here. I'll show them in a later video, maybe. I got the original 3DS, and of course I have the original Switch right here as well, and so yeah, big fan. I also have a PS4, Xbox One. I've wanted to get a PS5, but to tell the to be completely honest about it, I never really wanted a PS5 as badly, only because there's really not a lot of games that you can play on the PS5 that you can't play on the PS4. So didn't really care about getting a PS5. I'll still get one, sometime, but I actually cared way more about getting the newest Nintendo system, Switch 2. So, and I actually went through a lot to get it, but well worth it to me anyway. But yeah, basically I've always wanted to play it, and finally able to play. I was finally able to get one. I was finally able to, buy one. And as much as I went through, finally here. And I know we'll also, it's also getting a lot of controversy, surrounding the price, and just the way they're going about things. I know, to be completely honest, the $450 price tag, not really too happy about it. Of course I didn't like it, but I had to bite the bullet on it. The price tag for the system, though, I can understand more. The game, on the other hand, $80 for this, I didn't like it, but I really wanted to play it, so I had to bite the bullet and get it. I know Cyberpunk 2077 for some reason was was like $10 cheaper, even though plus taxes. I guess it really wouldn't matter, but it's still just as much. But that I also know how they're they're doing game key cards as well for the Switch too. They were kind of already doing that with the other systems, and they were also doing that with some games for the original Switch because they either couldn't put the whole game on there, it just wasn't finished, so the full game isn't actually on the original Switch cartridge games and stuff like that. But I get it too, which is probably the reason why, a lot of people haven't bought it yet. But at the same time, it's also been selling out like crazy, hence why it's been so difficult to get. But nonetheless, I actually really wanted one, and I've already opened it, I've already set it up, but here it is right here, here's the box, here's the games, I got a case for it, and then here's the system itself. As a matter of fact, why not show off some gameplay? Oh, and another thing, this is actually the Mario Kart World bundle. that I got. I already got Mario Kart World right there. But long story short, I bought Mario Kart World, a physical copy of it, ahead of time. And I didn't know that, when I was actually going to go buy the Nintendo Switch 2, they were only going to have, at least the store I went to, which was Best Buy, they were only going to have, the bundle. They didn't actually have any singles, which sucked, but I knew that if I didn't buy it, I probably wasn't going to get another chance to buy it, at least for a while. At least that's what the internet's saying. They're saying how basically it's going to be hard to get another Nintendo Switch. Or it's gonna be hard to buy the Switch 2 for a while, but yeah, yep, here it is right here: Grand Prix, Knockout Tour, Time Trials versus Race. You got the battle, but to be completely honest, you know what? I do want to free roam in it. I want to show some of that, but for now, I guess I'll just do a Grand Prix. I don't want to. And maybe later on, I'll do a free roam video as well. Which, I mean, me personally, I'm enjoying the free roam. I love that part of it. Airship Fortress. I remember Airship Fortress. This is the one I love the most. Or Airship Fortress is actually one of my favorite tracks in the game. I know Airship Fortress. I love Bowser's, like a lot of the Bowser's castles. I like a lot of the older Bowser's castles as well. A lot of people think that they're too basic, they're too old and plain. I actually love them, more so for nostalgia though. Not really because of the way it's designed, but still, atmosphere, everything. This game also, is stellar with the atmosphere. And at first, when I was actually watching gameplay of the Airship Fortress track on YouTube, it was actually daytime, sunny, and I was like, oh, I hope that's not how it actually is. And it turns out there's actually dynamic weather in the game. So, and that's how I played it when I actually first, to my convenience, I actually, the sky was actually dark and everything. So, when I finally got to Airship Fortress, hopefully that's how it's going to be again when I get to it again. But yeah, basically, And yeah, I haven't really haven't got a good hang on the parkour in the game yet. I haven't really, on the grinding. I know there's grinding flips and stuff like that. I really hadn't gotten a good handle on it. I would have to practice that because I'm still really not good at that. But though I really, 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 really do want to do it though. I really do want to play it like that. Like, really cool. But yeah, I've been a big fan of, gaming for a while. I said gaming, but a big fan of Nintendo. I've been a big fan of Nintendo. I've been a big fan of Mario Kart. That's why I have a 3DS, a Switch, and I have the original Mario Kart. Not the original, but I have Mario Kart DS. I have Mario Kart 7, Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. I have Mario Kart Wii, but right now my Wii isn't even working, or at least the motion on it isn't working. So and seemingly that's like the only way you could really play it is if you take the Wiimote and actually select the game on it, which isn't working right now. Like my motion sensor, I don't know if it's the motion sensor, the system itself, or what's been going on with it, but yeah, I got all of them. Yep. Finally got the Switch 2. Long awaited, And then, interesting fact, when I actually finally got the money to get it, I still wasn't able to get it right away because, it was constantly selling out, constantly going out of stock. It was in high demand. So, even though I know maybe not everybody agrees with the price, like myself, that didn't stop them from buying it. And it's still in high demand, so. Maybe that'll change, But from what I've also looked up, it also said that it won't be easy to get a Switch 2 until spring of next year. I hope that's not true either. But at the end of the day, you know, it's up to, you know, people whether they want to buy it or not. I definitely wanted to get it though, you know. Hence why I got it. But yeah, basically. Trying to see how. I'm so happy I finally got a Switch too. And I don't mean to spoil anything when I say this. I mean, I'm pretty sure, you know, I know there's tons of gameplay on it already, you know, but I'm going to say it anyway. Rainbow Road on here is amazing. You know, this is probably the best. The Rainbow Road and this in Mario Kart World is probably the best that they've ever done. Like, I binged this game maybe yesterday, you know, when I finally got it. Crap. And yeah, because I really wanted to try the Rainbow Road. You already know, you know, Rainbow Road is probably like the best track in each and every single Mario Kart game. Some actually say though that the worst one is the Mario Kart 8 Rainbow Road, which I mean I like that one too. Honestly, I mean I don't really see what the issue is. It's probably because it's not like, you know, traditional Rainbow Road, but nonetheless I still enjoyed it a lot. If I'm playing, you know, if I look stupid playing it right now, if I'm not playing it right, it's only because like the awkward position I'm in right now, trying to play it on the camera. But I do want to get this for y'all. I could have actually, you know, I know I could have like done an unboxing video of it as well, but I mean, I was too excited. So I just opened it up on my own. And I mean, you know, it isn't like there aren't already like tons and tons of other people unboxing it, so on YouTube. I'm not trying to say this in a messed up way, but I mean, if you want to see an unboxing video, you can just go to one of those videos and, you know, and look at it there. There are tons of them. So I doubt there was a need for me to do it. Basically is what I'm trying to say. Yeah, and then you can also free roam the, like, I mean, I'm pretty sure you already know this, but you can also free roam the entire, you know, map, which in my opinion is amazing. A lot of people say how the world is bland and it's really not a lot and it's like not a lot of content, but me, honestly, I'm loving it. I'm loving it on the simple fact of there are so many tracks, you know, in Mario Kart that I love that looks really cool to me. And the fact that now you can just go up to it and, you know, just explore it, it's just amazing to me. It's really a vibe to just drive around in the map. And there are things that you can do, you know, challenges and stuff like that. No, they're not really all that exciting, but I mean, it's still something, you know. It's not like they didn't put anything in the game. And me personally, so far that I've played, I'm loving everything about it. Everything. Yeah, pretty much. I mean, Mario Kart World. It was a struggle to get the Switch 2, but persevered. Now I'm here. If I'm moving too much, you know, or if like I'm not getting the full screen on camera, it's because I'm trying to play this and keep it on the camera at the same time. I don't think y'all know how difficult that actually kind of is to do, to focus on the game, on the race, and on the camera at the same time. Just trying to make sure I get it, you know, get it as like as good as possible. It's not going to be perfect. I already know that, you know. So, I say this in advance. Sorry for the screw-ups. Oh, yeah, this is another one too that they this is another retro track right here, Wario Stadium. N64 Wario Stadium. It's something about the older especially like in the Mario Kart 64, you know, even in Super Circuit. It's something about the older tracks. I don't know if it's just like the grittiness of the graphics or like the atmosphere, you know. It's something about the atmosphere in those games. Don't get me wrong, I love the atmosphere in this Wario Stadium, but in the old Wario Stadium, the atmosphere for some reason is just, it's something about it. I can't put my finger on it, but, you know, it could be nostalgia. I don't actually know. But nonetheless, I still love this one, though. Don't get me wrong. And I guess from here, we're gonna make our way from this track to the Airship Fortress. That's how this game does it. You know, Mario Kart World. You drive from the previous track to the next one. But from what I'm seeing, it's like it's not like that all the time. I gotta play this game more. You know, I really just started playing it like I played the demo, you know, at Best Buy where I got it. Best Buy, Target, but I really didn't really get a chance to like really like, you know, I guess I hadn't put like a lot of time into the game yet. You know, I played all the tracks, but I really hadn't studied this game. You know, I guess I hadn't played the game enough to, you know exactly how it works. Basically, is what I'm trying to say. But yeah, the next track is going to be Airship Fortress, which is what we're on our way to right now, and that's the one I really want to get. It's a bunch of other stuff I actually want to do in the game. I want to show y'all, but you know, for now, for this is actually what I'm gonna capture for y'all. Let's see how this does anyway and everything. Crap. Crap. It's actually funny too because I do want a PS5, but you know, I want to put the Switch 2 first. I really didn't even care about getting it. I really didn't never cared about getting the PS5 for what from what I said earlier, because of how it's not too many games that you can actually play on the PS5 that you can't play on the PS4. But you know, just to upgrade out, I'm still eventually gonna get it. But I had to put this first, especially since this just came out anyway. So, you know, doesn't it make more sense? Even though I should have gotten a PS5, you know, PS5 came out a while back and I had all this time to get a PS5, but didn't really care about it. Oh yeah, and then we're in Airship Fortress. As you can see too, you know, it's right now it's nighttime, which is exactly how I like it. I mean, this is how Airship Fortress originally was anyway. You know, it was like a darker sky, you know. Some gameplay footage of it, though, I've seen it in daytime. Right now, it's kind of like, it looks like it's kind of in the middle, you know. I don't know how it looks on camera because I'm not looking at right at the camera, I'm actually looking at the screen, but yeah. So, yep, here we go, Airship Fortress. So, yep, there we go. But yeah, yep, finally got the Switch 2. You know, I'm so happy that I got it, you know. You already know I'm gonna be going in on this, you know, playing Mario Kart World multiplayer, playing Cyberpunk 2077, anything and everything else that comes out. Maybe not everything else, but a bunch of, yeah, you know, I'm excited to see what the Switch 2 is going to bring. I'm excited to see what's going to be on this system. We've come a long way. Nintendo has handhelds have come a long way, you know, which is just insane. Insane. But yeah, basically pretty much, you know. Yep, finally got the Switch 2, so I really just wanted to show it off, you know. I really wanted to show, you know, I finally got it and everything. Wanted to show gameplay of it. I know I could have done an unboxing of it, but like I said before, you know, I was just too excited. I opened it up on my own. But yeah, I hope y'all enjoyed this, and you know, until next time, peace.